world has always been fascinated by the British royal family, with endless rumors and speculations about their lives behind palace walls. But no one could have expected the shocking revelation from Prince William's son, George, which has left everyone in awe. What exactly has Prince George confirmed at just 11 years old? What's it really like to grow up in such an iconic family, and how will his upbringing shape his future role as a king? Let's dive into this intriguing story and the surprising truth behind Prince George's life. Prince William's early life and challenges. Prince William, the Prince of Wales, has navigated a unique path from childhood to adulthood, shaped by both privilege and responsibility. Born on June 21, 1982, he is the eldest son of King Charles III and the late Diana, Princess of Wales. William's early years were defined by a blend of royal duties and personal challenges. He attended prestigious schools, including Wetherby School and Eton College, where he was educated alongside peers who were often unaware of his royal status. This semblance of normalcy was crucial for William, especially after the tumultuous events surrounding his parents' divorce in 1996 and the tragic death of his mother in 1997. These experiences instilled in him a sense of empathy and resilience that would later shape his approach to fatherhood, impacting the lives of his children, particularly his son, Prince George. Historical context of royal childhoods. Historically, royal children like Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Charles grew up in a much more secluded environment than William or George. Queen Elizabeth, for instance, spent much of her childhood shielded from public view, allowing her to develop her understanding of duty and responsibility privately. Prince Charles, meanwhile, was raised under the supervision of nannies and tutors, with limited direct involvement from his parents, who were often occupied with royal duties. William, in contrast, was one of the first royals to experience an upbringing that blended tradition with modern approaches, largely due to Princess Diana's hands-on parenting style. Diana was famously involved in William's and Harry's lives, ensuring they experienced the world outside royal palaces, from visiting homeless shelters to taking public transportation. This upbringing played a pivotal role in how William now raises his own children, particularly George, in an era of intense media scrutiny. While William ensures George is prepared for the duties of a future monarch, he and Kate Middleton also emphasize a balanced modern upbringing that includes exposure to normal childhood experiences, education, military service, and marriage. After completing his education at Eton, William took a gap year during which he traveled to Chile and worked on community projects. He then attended the University of St Andrews in Scotland, where he studied geography and met Catherine Middleton, and their relationship blossomed amidst the pressures of royal life, culminating in their marriage in April 2011. William's transition to official royal duties began shortly after his graduation in 2005, when he joined the Royal Military Academy Sandhurst. He served in various capacities within the armed forces, including as a search and rescue pilot with the Royal Air Force. His military service not only provided him with valuable skills, but also grounded him in a sense of duty towards public service and instilled a strong sense of duty that he's now passing on to George. William's role as a father and raising George. In September 2013, William transitioned into full-time royal duties after leaving military service. He became involved in numerous charitable organizations and initiatives focusing on mental health, conservation, and support for emergency workers. His commitment to these causes reflects his desire to make a positive impact on society. As William embraced his royal responsibilities, he also became a devoted father to 3 children: Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis. His life as a father also took center stage. Along with his wife, Kate Middleton, William has worked hard to provide a stable, loving environment for their 3 children. While shielding them from excessive media attention, William is also preparing George for the responsibilities he will eventually inherit. As the future king, George is already starting to take on some of those duties. The royal couple has expressed their desire to strike a balance between royal duties and giving George a more normal childhood. In contrast to previous royal upbringings, they've made efforts to take family vacations and spend quality time together away from the public eye. Still, George has recently stepped into more public roles, with many observers noting that his journey mirrors the intense scrutiny his father once faced as a young heir to the throne. Parenting George and current challenges. Recently, attention has shifted to his eldest son, Prince George, who, at 11 years old, has made headlines with a confirmation that many have anticipated. The development has sparked discussions about the pressures and expectations placed on him as a future heir. Both William and Kate Middleton have focused on ensuring that George's transition into royal duties is as smooth as possible. Kate, in particular, emphasizes open communication about their royal responsibilities, fostering an environment where George can express himself freely while also understanding the significance of his position. As they navigate the complexities of parenting in the public eye, the phrase, "This is disturbing," resonates with many observers who reflect on the challenges his children face. At the same time, the royal family has faced broader challenges, including Kate Middleton undergoing cancer treatment and King Charles III's health issues. William's role as a father during these turbulent times highlights his commitment to providing stability and love to his children despite external pressures, balancing tradition and modernity. As George's future becomes increasingly tied to the monarchy, William and Kate have reportedly disagreed on certain aspects of his upbringing, particularly his schooling. While Kate is said to be less than impressed with the idea of sending their eldest son to a traditional boarding school like Eton College, William's own alma mater, William appears to favor this path for George. This decision reflects a tension between modernizing the monarchy and adhering to long-standing royal traditions. The confirmation of these educational choices has led to mixed reactions from the public. Many feel that sending George to a prestigious institution could perpetuate elitism within the royal family, which contrasts with their efforts to present a more relatable image. Critics argue that such decisions could alienate them from the general public, especially in light of ongoing discussions about the monarchy's relevance in contemporary society. But others support the decision, viewing it as part of maintaining a necessary royal legacy. William's reflections and future guidance for George. As Prince William reflects on his own journey from childhood to adulthood, he aims to guide George through similar challenges while instilling values such as kindness, humility, and empathy. William's own experiences of personal loss and public scrutiny have undoubtedly shaped how he raises his children, particularly George, as they prepare for future responsibilities. Together with Kate, William embodies the evolving nature of the royal family, balancing tradition with modern values of compassion and accessibility. As George steps into his new role, William's guidance will be crucial in navigating the complexities of royal life while maintaining a sense of normalcy and personal happiness, growing up as a royal child. At just 11 years old, Prince George is already second in line to the British throne, a position that brings both immense privilege and heavy responsibility. As the first child of Prince William and Catherine, Princess of Wales, George's upbringing has been closely watched by the public and media, blending normal childhood experiences with royal duties. His birth on July 22, 2013, marked a historic moment, as for the first time since Queen Victoria's reign, 3 generations of heirs to the throne were alive simultaneously: George, his father William, and his grandfather Charles. From the moment he was born at St. Mary's Hospital in London, Prince George became a global sensation. His birth was celebrated not just in the UK, but across the Commonwealth, marking a historic moment as it was the first time since Queen Victoria's reign that 3 generations of heirs were alive simultaneously: George, his father William, and his grandfather Charles. The attention surrounding George has been intense from the start, but it differs vastly from previous royal upbringings. Historically, royal children like Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Charles were kept mostly out of the public eye until they reached adulthood. Queen Elizabeth spent much of her early years away from public scrutiny, allowing her time to develop her sense of duty privately. Prince Charles, though also carefully prepared for his future role, had a childhood largely supervised by nannies and tutors. In contrast, George has been exposed to public life at a much earlier age. His early months were spent in Anglesey, Wales, before the family moved to Kensington Palace in 2014. His first royal tour to New Zealand and Australia at just 9 months old showed how quickly the young prince became a symbol of the monarchy's future. Despite appearing only briefly, media attention dubbed him the star of the show, a reflection of the fascination surrounding the young royal. This early exposure to the public, combined with the influence of modern media, has accelerated his introduction to royal life. As he grew older, Prince George began attending school. He started at Westacre Montessori School Nursery in January 2016 and later transitioned to Thomas's School in Battersea in September 2017 under the name George Cambridge. In September 2022, he and his siblings moved to Lambrook School in Berkshire. His first royal tour to New Zealand and Australia at just 9 months old showed how quickly the young prince became a symbol of the monarchy's future. Despite appearing only briefly, media attention dubbed him the star of the show, a reflection of the fascination surrounding the young royal. In a 2016 interview, he stated that while there will be a time for George to understand his role in the world, it is crucial to create a secure atmosphere filled with love during their formative years. This approach reflects William's desire to balance royal duties with normal childhood experiences. A particularly iconic moment of George's childhood was when he met former US President Barack Obama and First Lady Michelle Obama at Kensington Palace, dressed in a bathrobe. The moment highlighted both his innocence and the playful, informal side of royal life that William and Kate strive to protect. However, George's upbringing also comes with challenges. Recently, Prince George has begun stepping into more visible roles, such as participating in the Trooping the Colour parade and serving as a page of honor at King Charles III's coronation. These moments mark his gradual transition into a public figure, and while his parents are mindful of protecting his privacy, the pressure is mounting. But with this shift comes concerns expressed by many observers about the pressures placed on him at such a young age. Critics argue that while George's upbringing is steeped in royal tradition, the demands of public life can place a strain on his mental and emotional well-being, with some deeming this constant exposure as disturbing. Royal experts such as Robert Lacey have commented on how George is being groomed for his future role in a world where media scrutiny is unrelenting. The contrast between private family life and public expectations is stark, and many commentators have voiced concerns about the impact this may have on George's mental health and emotional development. The royal family's efforts to create a relatable public image are often at odds with traditional practices, and this tension has been highlighted by recent discussions about George's education and future royal responsibilities. William and Kate have faced challenges balancing tradition and modernity in raising their children. The public has expressed mixed reactions to decisions about George's education and appearances, with some praising their efforts to modernize the monarchy, while others worry that the pressures may affect his development. As George approaches adolescence, he faces the delicate task of preparing for future royal duties while navigating the complexities of growing up in the public eye. In many ways, George's experience mirrors that of his father, Prince William, who also grew up under intense scrutiny. William has spoken about the importance of raising his children with values of kindness and empathy, shielding them from excessive media attention while ensuring they are prepared for their roles. Together with Kate, they strive to create a stable environment that blends family love with the weight of royal duty. As George continues to grow, he embodies both the hopes of his lineage and the challenges of being a modern royal. His journey is a reminder that beneath the titles and crowns lies a young boy, experiencing the universal process of childhood, albeit within the extraordinary context of the British monarchy. Moment of confirmation. At 11 years old, Prince George has reached a significant milestone in his life, marking the beginning of his gradual integration into royal responsibilities. His recent, more frequent public appearances confirm what we knew all along. These outings signal the shift from childhood into the early stages of his future role as a royal, where he must begin to understand the weight of his duties as second in line to the throne. As he continues to appear at public events, such as the Trooping the Colour Parade and serving as Page of Honour at King Charles III's coronation, George is being introduced to the ceremonial aspects of his future role. These moments are carefully designed to help him adjust to his responsibilities while being supported by his family. A key element in George's transition is the introduction of protocols like the Morbid Rule, which mandates that heirs to the throne must travel separately for safety reasons. This rule highlights the gravity of his future position and the responsibility that comes with ensuring the continuity of the monarchy. What makes George's upbringing unique is the balance between modern parenting and royal tradition. Prince William and Kate Middleton have worked hard to provide George with a sense of normalcy while gradually introducing him to the expectations of royal life. This modern approach reflects their commitment to blending royal duties with the values of contemporary parenting, allowing George to experience childhood while preparing for his future role. Additionally, recent family challenges, including Kate Middleton's health issues and King Charles III's ongoing health concerns.
The royal family is finally returning to some sense of normality, with the King undertaking his first public engagement since he was diagnosed with cancer.
Have shaped George's understanding of both personal and public responsibility. These trials have highlighted the importance of resilience within the family, reinforcing the lessons George is learning about balancing private struggles with public duties. As Prince George steps into his role, the world watches closely, not only because of his future as a king, but because of how he will embody the balance between tradition and modernity. His journey is a testament to the evolving nature of the British monarchy, where royal duties and modern values coexist in a unique and complex way. The future of the royal family. At 11 years old, Prince George stands at a crossroads between childhood and royal duty. His recent public appearances and acknowledgement of his future role within the monarchy signal his gradual transition into the responsibilities expected of him as second in line to the throne. This shift from private life to public duty reflects the careful preparation by his parents, Prince William and Kate Middleton, to guide him through these early stages of royal life. Public sentiment surrounding the monarchy is shifting, particularly among younger generations. Recent polling by YouGov shows that while nearly half of the British public still supports the monarchy, younger people are increasingly questioning its relevance. Around 43% of 18-24-year-olds now favour an elected head of state over a hereditary monarch, reflecting a desire for modernisation and transparency. This growing divide presents a challenge for the royal family as they seek to maintain public support while navigating an evolving societal landscape. For Prince George, these societal shifts and the expectations placed upon him will shape his future role. Already participating in significant royal events, George is gradually being introduced to the responsibilities of royal life. However, along with these privileges come strict royal protocols, such as the requirement for heirs to travel separately from their families and restrictions on personal freedoms like signing autographs. These rules, designed to protect the integrity of the monarchy, will impose sacrifices on George as he matures. Speculations on Prince George's future role as king. As Prince George grows up in the royal spotlight, much of the public's curiosity revolves around what kind of king he will one day become. Given the shifting landscape of modern monarchies and the evolving role of the British royal family, there is ample room for speculation on how Prince George might rule when he eventually ascends to the throne. Continuing the modernization of the monarchy, one of the most likely scenarios for Prince George's reign is that he will continue the work of his father, Prince William, and his grandfather, King Charles III, in modernizing the monarchy. Both William and Charles have shown an inclination to streamline the royal family and reduce its size, focusing on core members rather than extended relatives. King Charles has already demonstrated this by cutting back on royal expenditures and limiting public funding for certain royal activities. Prince William has also been vocal about bringing the monarchy closer to the people, embodying a more down-to-earth and relatable royal image. This is seen through his charitable work focused on mental health, climate change, and emergency services. Prince George could continue this trajectory by aligning his reign with modern values, fostering greater transparency, inclusivity, and a stronger focus on humanitarian efforts. However, how far George will go in this direction remains a matter of speculation. Will he push the monarchy toward even greater reform, perhaps embracing more democratic elements, or reshaping the institution's traditional protocols? Some royal experts believe that George's upbringing, which blends royal traditions with a modern childhood experience, will enable him to connect more deeply with the British public. This could make him a more accessible monarch, similar to how his father and grandmother, Queen Elizabeth II, have been viewed. A more radical approach to reform? While modernization seems inevitable, some speculate that George's reign could take a more radical approach. As societal values shift, particularly with younger generations, George may feel pressured to reform or even redefine the monarchy's role in the 21st century. Public sentiment toward the monarchy has been changing, especially in the wake of controversies involving senior royal members, such as Prince Andrew and the departure of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle from royal duties. A YouGov poll from 2023 revealed a growing number of Britons, particularly younger people, favoring the idea of an elected head of state over a hereditary monarchy. If these attitudes continue to gain traction, George may be forced to make bolder moves to ensure the monarchy's survival. This could mean reducing the ceremonial nature of the monarchy further, allowing for more governmental oversight, or increasing the monarchy's engagement with critical global issues such as climate change, human rights, and global health. Global politics and environmental challenges. As the world becomes more interconnected, the role of the British monarchy may also shift in response to global politics. During Queen Elizabeth II's reign, the monarchy maintained a significant degree of soft power through diplomatic engagements and Commonwealth connections. While the Commonwealth remains an essential facet of the royal family's influence, the organization itself is changing, with some nations questioning the necessity of retaining ties to the British Crown. By the time George becomes king, global politics may look drastically different. The United Kingdom's position on the world stage, post-Brexit, could also influence his reign. With environmental challenges such as climate change becoming increasingly critical, George may align his reign with progressive policies aimed at sustainability. His father, Prince William, has already laid a strong foundation with initiatives like the Earthshot Prize, which focuses on finding solutions to environmental issues. It is likely that George's reign will place a stronger emphasis on environmental stewardship, responding to the global urgency surrounding climate issues. The influence of public sentiment. Public sentiment will undoubtedly play a significant role in shaping George's future as king. Queen Elizabeth II's reign was characterized by her steadfast commitment to tradition, which earned her the deep respect and affection of her people. However, the monarchy today is being called to adapt more rapidly to the times. George's future as king will depend not just on his ability to maintain the dignity of the crown, but also on his capacity to appeal to a population that is increasingly questioning the relevance of the monarchy. Whether George will strike a delicate balance between tradition and progress or push for deeper reforms remains to be seen. Nevertheless, his reign is likely to be one of the most closely watched, as the monarchy continues to evolve in a rapidly changing world. The future of the British monarchy, in many ways, rests on how successfully Prince George can navigate this path. His role as a future king will not only shape his personal identity, but also the trajectory of the monarchy itself in a rapidly changing world. As public attitudes shift, George's ability to balance tradition with modernity will be key to maintaining the monarchy's relevance in the decades to come. What do you think about Prince George's confirmation of what we all knew all along? Share your thoughts in the comments below.